All right. Right to information. What is this right to information means? First one, we have all read it. We have an entire class based on this. So here the first one is the right to seek information from any public authority, the right to inspect only limited work being carried out by any public authority, the right to take information only in the form of electronic format, the right to inspect records held by public authorities, and the right to take certified copies of record held by public authority. So here, what all do you think is right? So you do understand that first one option over here is quite correct, that you have the right to take certified copies of records held by public authorities, right? So here E answer is right. So here with this, you can of course eliminate your first and second option thereafter. That is, they do not go well with it. So first and second option, they do not comes under the this one, right? But here, if you see the first one, the right to seek information from any public authority, do you think it stands right? Yes, of course it do stands right, because as per the RTI, you can seek information from any public authority. So here, your among your third and fourth option, this fourth one stands to be right. And if we not the fourth one, I mean the third one, because here you see the right to inspect only limited work being carried out by any public authority. It won't be very right to say, because of course that's the entire purpose of RTI, that you can seek information, not just about limited one, right? So the third one goes right over here. All right, let's just come to the other question. What is this new, NEP, New Education Policy 2020's policy vision includes the following key changes to the current system of education. So here you should be very clear that if they write NEP, so kindly do not confuse it with New Economic Policy. It is, if we are talking about the NEP to 2020, so it is your NEP, which is your New Education Policy 2020. So what were their main vision? What was this policy vision? So here the option that have been given to you are that moving towards a more multidisciplinary and undergraduate education. Second is your suboptimal governance and leadership of HEI, which is your higher education institutions. And your C1 is your revamping curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and student support for enhanced students' experiences. And your D1 is your governance of higher education institution by highly qualified independent boards, and therefore having academic and administrative autonomy. And the last one is your rigid separation of disciplines. So here you need to understand that in this, what were the 2020's policies vision were? What were the key changes that were introduced into the current system of education? You must have seen that the around that time when this 2020 policy, a new economy, new education policy was introduced. So what were the major changes that were introduced in our current education system? So you understood that there were systems, the changes that were introduced, it mainly emphasized on creating a more multidisciplinary and undergraduate education system. So your A option, which stands very much right. But you will see that the fourth option over here, I mean the fourth one, if you see the C only, you can eliminate this one, right? So here you are left with three options, which is 1, 2, and 3, because A appears to be in all three of them. Suboptimal governance and leadership of higher education institution, right? Revamping curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and student support for enhanced student experiences. So you do understand that now option second is also eliminated. Now you have to choose from option number 1 and 3, right? Governance of higher education institution by highly qualified independent boards having administrative and this administrative economy. So here you understand that E1 is not going to be there. So you need to make a choice from your option number 1 and 3. So here, which one would you choose? Is it B or D, right? So here you need to understand that your correct answer would be third one, which is your A, C, and D, where they are talking about this new education policy, the kind of reform or the policy vision that he had. The kind of reform that it had brought is basically moving towards a more multidisciplinary approach of undergraduate education, revamping the entire curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and also student support for enhanced student experiences as well. And thereafter, the last one is your governance of higher education institutions by highly qualified independent boards having academic and administrative autonomy, right? With this, let's just come to the other one. All right. So here in this one, how to approach this sort of question is, for example, they'll definitely put up 3 to 4 questions in your examination where they'll ask you to match the followings, right? Match the following, match this list with the other list given from the right to left, right? So here, how do you have to approach it? So here you see, kindly, whenever you approach a question, you have to eliminate the wrong ones whenever you see that you have marked it, right? So kindly try to eliminate the ones which are not over there. So that it does not multiplies your confusion, right? So here you see, if we see that Tarun Bharat Sangh, it was being started by whom? Seva, Navdanya, and Priya. So here you see, if you know the answer of B1, right? B matches with 1, which is Ella Bhatt. So here, how do you match it? So you have to see that in these options, among these options, the second one is the one where they have instantly you can match that B is the one, right? So here the correct answer would be the second one. That is your Tarun Bhatt Sangh were the one who Tarun Bhatt Sangh have been founded by Rajendra Singh, right? And thereafter, you see Seva as an organization, Self-Employed Women's Association. So it has been started. The pioneer of it is Ella Bhatt. And thereafter, C is your fourth one. Navdanya has been started by whom? It has been started by Vandana Shiva. Who is Vandana Shiva? Vandana Shiva is an eco-feminist, right? And she has been a pioneer of this. So Navdanya has been started by Vandana Shiva. And thereafter, you see the D1. So D is your Priya. Priya has been started by whom? Priya has been started by Rajesh Tandon, right? So that is how you mark your question. You have to just mark, if you know the correct answer of even of one of the match the following, that would help you immensely to eliminate the wrong ones, right? All right, let's go ahead. Here, so legislations have been given to you on the right side, and on the left side, they have been asking you the year of enactment, right? So here you see Factories Act. When was it started? Dowry Prohibition Act, Juvenile Justice Act, and your Untouchability Offence Act. So when are these, the year of enactment of these? Yeah, right. How to approach this sort of question? So for instance, if you know any among these that have been provided to you in all of these legislations, if you know even one or two, right, that would help you immensely. How? Because that's how you can, of course, eliminate the wrong ones. Example, if you see this one, that the Factories Act, right? For instance, let's just take an example that you know about Factories Act. So when was the Factories Act implemented, or the year of enactment is? Of course, it's 1948. So here you see 1 and 3 are of your use, okay? Otherwise, just delete your second and fourth one, right? Because Factories Act was enacted in the year 1948. So here you see, first one is right. But thereafter, this first and third, the right answer can be between these two, first and third only, right? Second and fourth are of no use. So here you need to understand when was the Dowry Prohibition Act was implemented, right? When was it enacted? Either it was enacted in the year either it was enacted in the year 1961 or 1986. So this you have to understand that this was enacted in the year, your Dowry Prohibition Act was enacted in the year 1961, right? So here your correct answer would be this, your first one, right? Just a second. Yes. So as per this, your correct answer would be a third one, because as per A, it is Factories Act in the year 1948, Dowry Prohibition Act in the year 1961, right? The C, which is a Juvenile Justice Act. So here, it's your answer is 1986. Juvenile Justice Act is about 1986, year of enactment. And the Untouchability Offences Act, it was enacted in the year 1955. So here now you have an entire list. Factories Act 1948, Dowry Prohibition Act your 1961, Juvenile Justice Act is your 1986, Untouchability Offences Act your 1955, right? So here your answer goes third one. All right. Moving ahead with this one. Here you have to we have an entire class regarding schedules of our Indian Constitution, and we have done it very, of course, in a very elaborated manner. An entire class was dedicated to schedules of Indian Constitution only. So I hope you won't make any mistakes regarding the same. So here you have to match, and we'll of course follow the same approach while of course marking the answer over here. So here you see, what does the 9th schedule stands for? 9, 10th, 11th, and 12th, right? So here you do understand the 11th and 12th stands for, first one is for Panchayati Raj and the 12th one is for your municipality, right? Municipality corporation. And the 10th one stands for your disqualification on the grounds of defections, right? So here you can easily match it. How? That, for example, if you know over here, you know the 10th one. Let's just suppose that you know the 10th one. So here you know that B matches with third one. So here you see how many B matches with the third one. So you see 3 and 4 are of no use, because your answer lies in either in the first one or in the second one, right? So you just ultimately what you have to do is you cut 3 and 4 from your, of course, from your search hunt. Just totally remove this third and fourth, because your actual answer lies between 1 and second. So here you understand that B, your answer is correct, but both of them serve the same option. So here you see which one is the 12th one stands for. So 12th, 12th one is for I. That is also given. So that is confirmed, right? Over here that it is among these two only. Now let's just go to the 11th one. So 11th, you understand that 11th is for fourth one. So your first one stands to be right. That your ninth schedule, you'll match it with whom? You'll match it with this one, right? Which is your ninth schedule is your, it contains acts and orders related to land tenure, land tax, railways industry. 10 stands for disqualification and defection, right? 12, 11 stands for your municipality, and your 12 stands for your 11 stands for Panchayati Raj, and your 12 stands for municipal corporation, right? So here your answer is going to be your second one. All right. With this, let's just move forward. All right. So here, when we have covered, while we covered our international days, right? So these are the, when, of course, while we were discussing it in our class, so you might have also made a guess that this is how I have to understand these lines, or of course, understand or remember these important days, right? So here, International Yoga Day, International Women's Day, World Environment Day, and International Day of Human Rights. Even if you do not remember the exact date, but you do understand that it falls in this month. And here you see in this examination, they are not going to be very, they are not going to set standards like UPSC that you have, they'll of course confuse you. For example, they'll just give March for all the dates, and that's how you'll get confused. Either it stands on 8th, 10 or 18, right? So this is not going to be that difficult. So here, if you see in that, in four of these options, for example, you do know about this International Human Rights Day. You know about the International Women's Day. So here you can see that when does the International Human Rights Day fall on? It falls on 10th of December. So here you can mark this answer. That a D1, in your D1, we have this second one, right? But we do know now we have only one, first and fourth option, which are of use to us. Otherwise, the second and third one are useless for us. Eliminate these two. Now we have to play between first and fourth. Now, if you see, if you know around like the International Women's Day, so here it is 8th March. Okay. So here you can see that it is your International Women's Day. Your B is for one. Fourth stands to be your answer. Now you have answers to all your list days and dates now, right? So that your A, first one is for, it stands for 21st June. International Yoga Day is celebrated on 21st of June. Thereafter, your second one, International Women's Day, is celebrated on 8th of March. World Environment Day is celebrated on 5th June. And your International Human Rights Day is celebrated on your 10th December. And these are very, very important days, because you see all of these dates are associated with some or the other way, they are associated with your MSW course. So that's how you can learn it, right? All right, great. Moving ahead, here we need to understand this, that when and in which year these acts have been commenced, these acts, the year of commencement of these acts. So here, stream strategy we are going to follow. Mental health, this your Mental Health Care Act, National Green Tribunal Act, and your Hindu Succession Act, and your Protection of Human Rights Act. So when and what date of these or these following have been introduced, right? So here you can see that your Mental Health Care Act, on what your, for example, you just take these two one, right? Mental Health Care one and the NGT one. So if you make a guess, that then also you can of course solve this question. That even see, because students most of the time what happens is they do confuse between the 90s one, but in the initial one that are post 2000, that have all of them that have happened, it's quite easy for us. However, we have of course done a separate class on these years of commencement of these important acts, but never mind, right? We of course, I'll give you a hint how to start or how to pose these questions. So here you see that post 2000, you do remember that how what all falls. For example, you just pick up the first one, Mental Health Care Act. You do understand that the years of commencement lies around 2017. It's a recent approach, right? Of course, it's a very recent act. So your Mental Health Act, try to match it, the A with the second one. Here, initially only the second one stands to be your right answer, and you have got your answer. NGT, you see 2010. You can of course cross check and see here, while attempting all of these questions, kindly do not be in a hurry to just mark the wrong one, because by that way, there would be not just only you losing your mark, but there would be negative marking as well, and totally affecting your entire result, right? So kindly, even if you're adopting this strategy or smart approach, but still at the same time, do cross check, right? Do cross check all of these, because see, all of the questions that I am approaching or all the questions that I am solving, I am doing a cross check, right? So that is how you have to approach it. So here you see the Mental Health Care Act, you see it was adopted in the year 2017. And thereafter, if you see the National Green Tribunal Act, so it was adopted in the year 2010. So both of these are very, very recent approach for the Indian government, right? And both of these approach have been recently bought post 2000 year, right? And then you see this Hindu Succession Act. So it was implemented, this was started in the year, commencement of year was 1956. And thereafter, if you see that the Protection of Human Rights Act, so it was started in the year 1993, right? So I hope it is quite clear to you. So our correct answer here would be, if you mark it over here, so your correct answer would be second one. Okay, great. So here, match the first list with the second one. These are the personality and what are their popular contributions. We have already discussed this. We had an entire class based on the same. So here you see Aruna Roy. What is she associated with? Iron Sharmila. What is she associated with? Lakshmi Agrawal and Shaheen Mishti. So you see, you do understand that what is the contribution of Aruna Roy and Lakshmi Agarwal, for example. Let's just see, even if for those who do not know the answer, right? So the guess you can make over here, or how to prove this question. So you, for example, let's just see that you do know about only two personalities, Aruna Roy and your Lakshmi Agarwal only, right? So here you see Lakshmi Agarwal. C is for your acid attack survivor. So you do understand that option that is only in your first and fourth one. So second and third are of your no use. Okay, eliminate third and fourth. Completely eliminate third and fourth. First and fourth are of your use. Okay, your correct answer lies in between these two. Aruna Roy, you do understand that her contribution is in this one. Yeah, that is for power of labor and farmer. So what these smart trick that these examiners that they do is that they do ask, or I mean, what they do is, of course, it's not us only who are going to approach or try these strategies and approach. What they also do is they also frame these options as that only, that even if you eliminate, so you're not left with any of these, right? For example, so here we see that Aruna Roy, you know, what is she associated with? Power of labor and farmers. Lakshmi Agarwal, quite well known acid attack survivor. She has her own organization working for this, right? Popular contribution. But here you see in the Iron Sharmila and the Shaheen Mistri. Here the spelling is not right. It is Shaheen Mistri. Okay. So here, what was her contribution? So basically, she's the one, she's the co-founder, basically, she's the CEO of this Teach for India, right? And your Iron Shamila is basically, she is quite famous for her struggle against, or the fight against this AFSPA, right? So this Armed Forces Protection Act. So here you see this this one, yeah, this one over here, it marks for D is for the third one, right? So here the correct answer that you mark is your first one, right? Which is A is your Aruna Roy is for power of labor and farmers. Iron Sharmila is for struggle against AFSPA, and your C is for Lakshmi Agarwal, this acid attack survivor, and Shaheen Mistri for Teach for India. She's the CEO of Teach for India.